In the gospel we just heard, Jesus is led by the Spirit to the desert, to a place of testing where any illusions of self-sufficiency and comfort quickly fade away. Because in the desert we experience great suffering, our own weakness, a loss of control, our utter dependence. Some of us have been there. Some of us will be there. Some of us are there now. But make no mistake, the desert is real. And we all experience it at different points in our life. But the truth is, no matter what we do to try and avoid the desert has much to teach us. Because the desert has a way of stripping away those things in our life that are truly insignificant. Those things that at the end of our days don't matter. And the desert has a way of stripping away those things that make us less available to God. Don't we often cling to our own self-reliance, our pride, or cling to those things that are material possessions? Don't we have a tendency to spend much of our days being distracted or overly busy? I've heard it said that the single biggest barrier between God and His people is busyness. But Lent is a time, if we're open, to be led to the desert. In essence, an opportunity to empty us of ourselves and allow God to fill us. I heard this priest give a testimony about his time in the desert, a time of great suffering and pain. He was diagnosed with ALS, and he knew his life from that point forward would never be the same. He knew his life would likely be much shorter. But he said, through that experience, I was transformed. And I knew I was transformed because of how people reacted to me. He said, it used to be that I would offer confessions and no one would come. He said, now I offer confessions and there is a line around the block. People tell me that my preaching is different. They sense that I'm more compassionate and empathetic. He said, it used to be when I offered Mass, on a good day, the church was half full. He said, now every single Mass is overflowing. But see, the desert didn't just transform him, it transformed his whole flock. Because that's the good news about the desert. Yes, it is a time of great suffering, but in the desert, God is very near. And it is through these experiences where we recognize our true dependence on God. And maybe the most important point of all is that because of what we heard in this gospel, because of what Jesus did in the desert is no longer a place of defeat, but a place of great victory. If we recognize these truths, our deserts, our Lent, our life will be truly transformed. Yes, if we are open, our desert, our time on this Lenten journey can teach us much.